spacious studio with character and charm.
No one can hear your screams. So yeah.
Oh,
Once you put it to wood, it's going to shake your arm a lot.
What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So I'm about to meet up with a real estate investor here in London, Ontario, Canada. His name is Matt McKeever, and him and I actually go way back, almost a year ago when I first started making YouTube videos. At the time, his channel had way more subscribers than me, and I had reached out, and we had started talking about like real estate and YouTube and making videos and all that good stuff. So I'm about to meet up with him now, and he's going to show me some of the properties he owns, and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to record that, have him share some of his experiences, how he got into real estate, how he's making money doing that, and hopefully that could be valuable for you guys to watch. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get to it. And so I guess Matt just bought this property right here. So let's go on in and have him talk a little bit about it. Matt!
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
Just handed in my newest property, closed yesterday on it.
So what did you end up buying this for?
So we bought this one for $148. It was listed for $165, so we were able to negotiate it down a little bit.
Okay.
And the reason we were able to negotiate it was we knew that the back unit was technically an illegal boarding house, so it'd be impossible to get a mortgage on this property, so you have to come in cash. But that means you can score a great deal by coming in cash.
So what's the plan with this going on here?
The idea is blow this back, so this is getting blown back here, just a little stub wall right here. That's going to get taken back all the way back. So instead of having a tiny little claustrophobic kitchen and then a huge dining room, you're going to just have a nice flow between the kitchen and the dining room. We'll do all new floors. Everything's going to get repainted, new kitchen, and by the time we're done, it's going to be livable.
So how much are you planning on spending on this entire renovation for this unit, and then also, I guess, in the back?
So yeah, the back is going to be the major thing. That's going to cost a fair bit, but we're talking maybe 50 grand total all in, including holding and closing costs. This front unit here will be utilities included, and so we'll be renting it for somewhere between $750 to $900 a month. And the back unit's going to be it's going to be two separate units. Those will probably be around $800 a month. And then the garage, we could actually get, it's got a separate detached garage. We could probably get $300 to $400 a month for the garage. So the goal is to, end up being around close to $3,000 a month gross.
This is a crazy thing about like Canadian real estate prices versus Los Angeles. The returns I'm getting in LA are a fraction of that. Like if you want $3,000 a month in LA, it's minimum probably like $450. I'd say 450,000 US dollars, which is equivalent to probably about like 575 Canadian. And that's just like the bare minimum. Other areas, like you have to spend $1 million if you want to get like $4,500 a month, like gross rents. It's pretty stupid. So like, dude, I'm jealous of Matt being able to buy these places and get like crazy high returns because in my market, like it sucks. You just can't do that.
Yeah, and so like our MO is like we're usually buying undervalued assets that aren't being fully utilized, their full potential. We go in, so this property we'll buy for 148, we'll spend say 50, let's call it 200 round numbers. We'll get refinanced for somewhere between 250, 300, and at an 80% loan to value, that means we'll get all our money out. So once we're done, we'll just be left with a cash flowing property for free.
See, that's the way to do it. So how many properties do you own now?
So this one marks number 16. So yeah, 16 properties. I started in 2010, so it's been a 7-year journey. The first 4 or 5 years, I was buying a house a year, just slowly kind of pacing up to it, and then the last 2 years, I've just been really ramping things up.
You got me beat, dude. I'm at, wait, is it 16 properties? Or
16 properties. So
that's like even more units then.
Yeah, so I'm literally 80 people a month cutting me a check or sending me an e-transfer these days.
That's insane. I have 8, just to compare. I have 8. He's got like, that's incredible. Seriously incredible. So what's like how did you even start getting the money to start doing that? How did you ramp
so
up to
the
do
very
that?
first one, in Canada, we also have some more favorable lending rules compared to the US. So we're able, on your first purchase, you can put 5% down. And so what I did was I bought an old student rental property, bought it for about $170,000, and it had 5 bedrooms. So I just lived in 1 bedroom, rented out the other 4, and banked all that cash, saved it up. And with that, I was able to go and put down my next down payment and just kind of recycle the process over and over again.
You might notice a recurring theme between Matt and Jeff, who also did pretty much the same thing, and we have a few people here that we're all kind of friends with, all do the same things. They all they buy one of these units, live in one of the rooms, rent it all out, it pays for everything plus profit, and then they're able to cycle that money back into buying something else, and that leads to something else, and something else, and you build up 16 properties in the process in 7 years.
Empire's built one bedroom at a time. So yeah, honestly, house hacking would be the #1 tip I have for anyone that's interested in real estate investing. Get your personal expenses rock bottom and just bank everything else and use that for your next down payment.
That's honestly the way to do it. And it's like living below your means, because I'm sure,
absolutely, yeah.
I'm sure, Matt, dude, if you want that Lamborghini,
yeah.
man.
Graham seen my car. I do not have a fancy whip at all. To me, a car is an A to B tool, and that's what I use it as.
He was telling me about this like weird boarding house thing that's below. I think we should see that, because it's almost freaky looking.
It's creepy.
It's kind of scary. And in the meantime, as we're walking over, you got to check out his channel, Matt McKeever. I'll put a link down below. And this is what I was explaining, that like at the very beginning, he had way more subs than me, and I was like looking up to his channel. I think I wanted his subs. Like I was like, I can't wait until I get to that number. So you guys, seriously, check out his channel. It's amazing. You guys have to subscribe. And yeah, let's go see this crazy downstairs.
Let's check out the dungeon.
Ooh, okay, let's see it.
Here's the kitchen, guys. This is where all the culinary magic happens. Got the great stove right here, carburetor right down there. You got the vaulted ceilings, custom light fixture. So lucky you don't have smell-o-vision. We'll show off one of the bedrooms that's currently vacant. Room number 8.
This is where the real magic happens. Yeah. Here. Who needs windows, by the way?
I was gonna say, you fancy people out in California think you need a window for a bedroom.
Oh, dude, we don't need windows here.
Welcome to the master. All kinds of character there. Vaulted ceilings, so you can see all that character. It's really about how you write those ads, right, guys? You just want to make sure you're really special with how you use your verbiage.
If I said this spacious studio with character and charm,
no one can hear your screams. Yeah, and again, no pesky windows. The master bath. Like, I know some people will think that this is water damage, but I'd call that character. A little elbow grease. So the crew had to take off early. One of the guys had to go back. There was a family emergency, but so we still got the work to do. And since I know Graham's great at demo, we figured,
oh my god, really?
Jump into it, guys.
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna take out my watch first. I think safety first. You want to protect the watches. Always wear safety goggles, just in case.
Once you put it to wood, it's going to shake your arm a lot.
This is gonna be one of those slow-mo scenes, by the way. Be jealous at this one. His video isn't as cool as this. Sorry, Jeff. That was awesome. That was so much fun. I can get so used to that.
Yeah, thanks for the help, Graham, but we still have another job site to go visit, Price Street. So it's another duplex I just got this week. Usually try and not close on 2 houses in a week, but it's the way it happened this time. So let's jump over.
Yep, let's go see it. Okay, so we're on the way now to his new duplex. And why did you get into real estate in the first place? Like, how did that come about? Why did you start?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad was definitely, was my gateway drug.
You and Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Same thing.
I think like you're gonna find it's the case for so many people, right? That there was a book or a mentor or a guru that they first stumbled upon, and that was the catalyst to changing their life. And so in my case, I think I was like 20 in university, and I just knew I didn't want to be behind a desk for the rest of my life. And so how else are you going to do it, right? Like, wasn't born rich, you know, was gonna have to make it myself, and real estate leverage was the only way I could see getting out of the rat race early. I've honestly prided myself on being really good at strategic partnerships, and just find someone like, you know, you don't want to partner with someone that has the exact same skill set as yourself, because that's going to be a 1 + 1 = 2. Whereas if you find someone that has a different skill set than yourself, that's a 1 + 1 = more than 2. So because I've always been like a numbers nerd, I really depended on the numbers for my first deal. So I bought this house. I knew it was going to cost me about $1,500 a month to operate, including my mortgage payment. And I knew I could rent it out for about $400 per bedroom. And since I had 5 bedrooms, I was going to live in one, and I was going to rent out 4 other bedrooms, or at least that was the plan. And what that meant was I was actually going to get paid $100 a month to live in my own house while paying down my mortgage. So that's what really gave me the safety to like jump into that first deal, was just really understanding the numbers and trusting in them once I...
Yeah. You know what I love? I made a video about how to house hack, and I got so many comments from people telling me, no, that's not possible, you can't do that. And so many people I met are doing exactly that. And so many of my clients are doing exactly. They buy one, you know, a multifamily, they live in one of the units, rent out the other one, they live for free. I have another friend who just bought a place in Lancaster. He's doing that. He's renting out 3 of the bedrooms, lives in the in-law unit for completely free, and he makes a little profit by doing it. I think for anybody interested in getting in real estate, it's probably the easiest way to start, because it's your own place and you're gonna be there. So you see everything that's going on, you're in direct control of it. And then it just kind of gets your feet wet to go and buy something else. All right, so now we got to his place on Price Street.
They just had like some soggy drywall that had been leaking from before they replaced the roof. They never ended up replacing it, so strip it down, we'll keep the strapping and just re-put up the drywall. Nothing flashy. You can see they painted this really dark color, and so it's just a dungeon. There's no overhead light. We're doing strategic renovations here, guys, so we're not trying to spend a lot. We're just trying to get the best bang for our buck. These floors here, even though they look terrible, we'll actually be able to fix them up, and Graham's seen the floors at my personal residence, and they'll look the same as my personal residence by the time we're done. Fancy light fixture right there. Random water stain. All kinds of plumbing issues in here. So just over right above where Percy's standing, we had just the upstairs tenant hasn't showered in his bathroom in over 3 months because it was just pouring down here and destroying the floors. So he's been going over to his sister's to shower for the last 3 months. Buying other people's problems and finding a way to fix them. Everything's gonna get painted. This will either get really well cleaned or we'll probably reglaze it. We're actually just gonna keep the tile. There's a couple spots that are gonna have to be patched or painted, but nothing too major.
Oh shit, these are the type of properties Matt gets.
Yeah, this isn't the same type of reno that Graham does that you'll see on his channel, but we're gonna save these. These are all gonna get painted. We're gonna put down a new cupboard, new sink, and we're gonna play up the heritage. You got these character original cupboards, so it's gonna look brand new, semi-gloss paint, and
this
good
is
to go.
This is one of the things I was discussing with Matt. In Los Angeles, you could never get away with doing this. You would have to tear the whole thing out. You'd have to tear out the floors. All of this, you'd probably have to put in recessed lighting. But the thing is, you spend the money, and you spend maybe on this kitchen. I'd probably spend $12,000 to $15,000 redoing this kitchen. But you get the return. Like you would see the improvement. I think if you spend 15 grand on this kitchen here, it's not like you're gonna get $2,000 a month in rent.
Exactly.
So
like in this case, we're gonna spend $3,000 on material for this whole main floor, and that includes replacing most of the flooring. Then on labor, I'm probably gonna spend 4 or 5 grand on labor, so we're gonna be 10,000 for the entire unit by the time we're done. So we got possession yesterday. I had a neighbor come over and say they had a friend that wanted to rent it, and right now in my wallet, I have a deposit check already for October 1st.
that's awesome. This is a great backyard.
Yeah, and so
I like this.
Upstairs is another apartment. It's currently occupied, so we won't jump into it.
Okay.
But so this was all overgrown. You wouldn't recognize this right now. You could barely see the garage. So what's your reaction?
Whoa!
Literally just caving in everywhere, right? We bought this sight unseen, so we didn't know what we were getting into in this garage. To be honest, the garage was just bonus for us. So what we'll end up doing, like, we're gonna have to jack all this up, obviously.
Yeah.
Put in sister beams all along this. Like, this is all garbage, right?
So when looking at properties, Matt, that are in this type of shape, how do you see past it? Like, what are one of the things that you do?
It takes a while to see past this, to be honest. Like, especially because like there's literally garbage piled here. There was like all kinds of insects. This was infested with mice. What it comes down to is I look at structural, right? Is the house going to fall down? And so everything, it turns out, is almost always cosmetic. Right now, this looks disgusting, but by the time we're done, this is going to be bright white. It's going to look super clean. We're going to have just a new countertop here. The numbers on this property look like this. We bought it for $140. They were asking $135, but we just wanted to do it because I knew it was a deal. And so upstairs is rented for $600. I have someone that wants to rent out the back for $300. So for me, that kind of tells me my quick back of the envelope numbers using the 1% rule is that this property would be worth about $200,000 to me once it's done. Buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. So we bought this for $140. We're going to renovate it for, let's say, $20. So we're $160 into it. So then we're going to rent it out for those numbers I said. Then we're going to refinance it. The bank will come in and say this is probably worth somewhere between $200 and $250. So if they say it's worth $200, that means when we refinance it at an 80% loan to value, we're going to get a new mortgage for $160. So that means that we're getting the house for free. Plus we have $40,000 in equity now, and it's going to cash flow, and it's probably going to pay us $500-600 a month in cash flow. If it comes in at $250, that means we're going to get a mortgage for $200, which means we're actually going to walk away with $40,000 extra compared to what we started with. So that means I can now take the money I tied up in this deal, plus the $40 I just made, which is actually tax-free because there's no taxable gains when you refinance, whereas flippers have to pay taxable gains. And so that's kind of how the numbers work. And so, you know, with experience, you start to learn that there, other than structural issues and foundation issues, there's almost no big deals in real estate, right? Like, at least in Canada, you know, a new furnace, under $5,000. New roof, under $5,000 usually. And plus this thing's still supposed to be cash flowing every month. So that's, yeah, that's kind of like how we get comfortable with the deals these days. Like the fastest value adds I found for properties are adding laundry and dishwashers. You can literally add a dishwasher to a kitchen. Like we'll add a dishwasher to that kitchen and we'll buy it used on Kijiji for $50. I'll pay like an electrician and plumber to put it together, and like it's honestly going to cost probably under $400 completely to get a new dishwasher, but I can charge, at least in London, Ontario, $50 more a month in rent just for having a dishwasher in a unit. And then laundry, you know, you can buy a nice little cheap stackable used unit for like $300. It'll maybe cost you $1,000, 1,500 absolute tops to get installed, like get the electrical, plumbing, and venting done. So you're talking again under $2,000 in, and I can charge about $100 to even $150 more a month for having laundry in a rental unit. So your payback period so fast, right? And then you also get a higher quality tenant, because like what I often think about is same with like just put yourself in your tenant shoes, right? Like, do you have a dishwasher in your house? Do you have laundry at your house, right? Like the answer is yes to most landlords. And so that's what your tenants want too, and that's how you're going to attract higher quality tenants and tenants that are going to stick around longer. Like I was joking with Graham earlier that my car is just an A to B tool. That's why it's nothing flashy. That's why like the exhaust is shitty on it. It's like, because it's just a tool to me, so.
Yeah, you don't need to have an expensive car if you're just driving 20.
Yeah, and like the thing is like, there's always time to get that expensive car later, right? Like once you've made it, everyone wants to like buy the fancy stuff before they've made it, and it's like, no, like the people that actually buy the fancy stuff and keep the fancy stuff are the ones that already made it. The rest are just people that flash in the pans, right?
Yeah.
Matt, thank you so much for giving me the tour of these two places. And you have 14 others that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably have to, in the future, maybe do another video we can show off like a few of the other rentals and stuff like that. In the meantime,
I love showing my properties
yeah,
off.
dude. In the meantime, I think we gotta head to Tim Hortons. I have not been there, and I haven't been there forever. I wish we have Tim Hortons in LA. We don't. So anyway, we're gonna go off to Tim Hortons. But you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. You gotta go check out Matt's channel. If you haven't already, you gotta check it out. I'm gonna put a link in the description. So feel free to add his channel. He makes a lot of really cool videos about real estate, especially around the London, Ontario area. So check that out. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to click subscribe and click that like notification bell that, you know, all these YouTubers now are like saying you gotta click that notification bell. So do that so you don't miss out on any videos. And then also feel free to add me on the Snapchat and the Instagram. Post there pretty much daily, so if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me. And thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time.
You can see that before they really piecemealed the kitchen together, where they had like this just overhanging because that was left over from a previous
This is
job.
so weird.
They've thrown up some random cabinets that didn't match the random cabinets that were on that wall or on this wall. It was just a really pieced together kitchen. And honestly, the crazy thing to me is that lots of landlords, they try and cut corners by doing this. And they maybe save like $200 or $300 compared to like just buying a full kitchen. Like go to Goodwill, go to Habitat for Humanity, go to a used construction store, and you can find like great kitchens that'll fit this space for under $1,000. You pay a guy $500 to install it, and you have something that looks like a brand new kitchen for $1,500. Whereas this guy probably spent $800 doing what he did. Like he saved maybe 50% of what I would have spent, but it looks terrible.
Yeah, I feel like this was worse than my duplex when it like comes to how like weird rigged it is. This is like, it's so funky looking.